This course is not a magic bullet. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. The way it works, you have a system and you churn out videos week after week after week after week after week, and eventually your life will change. I think about this a lot. This fake IKEA potted plant makes me feel less lonely. This is a controversial question. The correct answer is A, because they like me, and then they're not following me because I talk about a specific topic. They're following me because they like me.
So a few months ago, I made the decision to join Ali Abdaal's part-time YouTuber Academy for the very first cohort. I've been following Ali for a while. I didn't know this course was launching, but when I found out it did, I knew I had to get on board. The course is 4 weeks, 12 modules, and in the executive edition and the premium editions of the course, you also get a bunch of bonus interviews where Ali's talking to other YouTubers and content creators, and direct access to Ali and his team for coaching calls. Here's a few things that I learned in the course in no specific order. How to get gear, what gear matters, what order to buy your gear, how to pick a channel and pick a topic, how much that matters, whether you need to do that quick, fast, early, late, how to decide between multiple interests if you want to have a channel with multiple topics, how often to post videos, average time to grow a channel from a certain subscriber account to a different one, how to edit videos, including a step-by-step walkthrough of Ali doing it real time, how to make a good thumbnail, whether you should put text in thumbnails, how to develop your channel's vibe, whether you should have plants in the background or books or really big water bottles, wear flannel, drink coffee. Ali told me to do it. I'm not a hipster. Whether you should have 2 channels if you've got 2 separate interests or just one. How to choose between 2 languages if you're bilingual. She's speaking your native tongue, she's speaking English for a bigger audience. Whether you should worry about getting sued for using other people's content ideas. How to avoid looking like you are wearing lipstick in your thumbnails when you edit them. And a whole lot more. So I'm going to tell you exactly what's in the course, what my biggest takeaways were, module by module. Additionally, on Twitter, I posted probably 150 tweets kind of live tweeting the course and my experience, so you can check that out. And I will put a bunch of links to free content and my blog in the description, so you can build your own YouTube curriculum in advance of actually investing like this. Welcome and home-based setup. In this section, you get a crazy blueprint based on an intro survey on where you're at with all of the core YouTube proficiencies, which at the end of the course, you'll then get a contrast to see where you've learned. Ali talks about how to leverage compound interest.
Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. At the start, like, we're not seeing any kind of result, but like our memory of the effort and the pain it takes is at the maximum it's going to be. The reason people fail on YouTube, they quit before they can start to really experience compounding returns. It took me 6 months and 52 videos to get my first 1,000 subscribers. It was once I got to this point, which I would estimate was about 1.5 years in, where I really started to see some returns from my YouTube channel.
Ali shares the milestones of how he got to YouTube success, how to set up a badass videos home base Notion page that starts out looking like this and ends up looking like this. And finally, Ali introduces the mantra that you'll hear throughout the entire course.
If you want to take YouTube seriously, you have to make at least 1 video every week, and you have to do that for at least 2 years. If you do this, if you make a video a week and do it for at least 2 years, I can basically guarantee that your life will change. And if it doesn't, come back to me in 2 years' time and I will happily refund you everything you have paid for this course.
Find your niche. Niche? Niche? In this lesson, we find our niche by asking ourselves questions like, what am I good at? What do others say that I'm good at? What do I enjoy? What industries, audiences am I already a part of, or do I know well? What do I wish that I knew 3 to 10 years ago that could help folks on that journey now? Then we answer that and create Ikigai-esque visualizations that help us find the kind of confluence of those interests into something that can actually help our audience. Then later, we end up scrapping all of that and just make whatever videos help us spark joy. Additionally, you learn how to get to that niche in a kind of scientific, exploratory way that will probably take a while.
The way I like to think of it is creator-audience fit. So it's like this combination of what do I want to do as a creator, what value can I offer, combined with an element of what does my audience want from me, what does the market want from me? And then when you get those things together and you as a creator want to create the content anyway, that is when you get to this place that we're trying to get to where it just feels effortless to put out a video.
Idea generation and capture. In this lesson, we figure out how to never run out of content ideas and never break a sweat when you're coming up with them. This involves priming yourself through the mere exposure effect of setting the intent to be a YouTuber. You'll start seeing topics everywhere, experiencing eureka moments that you can naturally capture and turn into content. Then we learn how to curate your content diet on a platform like Twitter so that great ideas are naturally through just your day-to-day life coming to you.
When you see a YouTube video or you see a tweet, as soon as you have that mindset shift where you've now become a creator, at that point, every single piece of content that we consume is a good source of ideas for our own stuff.
Lesson 4, idea generation, content creation. In this lesson, we learn how to generate 5 months of content in 5 minutes using various exercises. Here's what that looks like at first for me, built out in Google Sheets, and here's what that looks like now, a combination of Roam and Notion systems. You also learn a bunch of nifty tricks like how to use vidIQ to see what titles and content are overperforming in your niche, decide between what content to make.
I want to find a sweet spot where there is not much competition and where ideally the search volume is pretty reasonable. He's got 3.1 million views and he's only got 200,000 subscribers. This is a sign that this topic is very interesting. This person has 345,000 views for What's on My iPad Pro and she's only got 18,000 subscribers. This is also a potentially interesting title. I'd want to analyze this video and think, okay, what's he done on this video that makes it so good? And is there anything I can steal from this video and incorporate it into my own?
Build your studio. This is when there's a deep dive into gear, what kind of gear you should get, all the tiers of price point, lots of details here, but the summary is, first, fix your audio with an external mic.
And if there's only one thing that I could upgrade, it would be my audio setup because it is the single most important thing.
And then put your mic as close to your mouth as possible. 2, buy a big ass light.
This is what I look like without lighting. This is what I look like with lighting. Absolutely crap. Damn, you've got pretty good production value.
And angle it about 45 degrees from your face. And then mess with it until it looks good. 3, get a camera that's not an iPhone.
It's absolutely fine to get started on your phone. Just don't think that you can grow big by shooting on your phone because that is not going to happen. Basically, the thing you're looking for in one of these cameras is you want it to have a flip out screen and you want it to have microphone input.
4, get some editing software and learn how to edit your videos to make them as compact and high value as possible.
A pause in a video feels about 10 times longer than a pause in real life. In real life, pauses are normal, but in video, our attention span is so small and tight that unless we're minimizing the pauses, we're at risk of losing people.
The refinery and systematic structuring. Here we learned how many videos on average it takes to get to certain subscriber counts. For example, it takes between 52 and 91 videos to get to 1,000 to 10,000 subscribers. That's a lot of videos. And by the time you have 1 million subscribers, on average, you have made close to 4,000 videos. This video also goes into more detail about creating a video system, including page templates and prompts that help you structure good thumbnails, titles, and scripts. Next, the HIVE framework and branding. This is the video framework that Ali uses to structure most of his video.
H for hook, I for intro, V for value, and E for end screen sales pitch. Hook is the opening 5 to 20 seconds of your video, which hooks the attention of the audience. An intro is when you say hello to the audience for the first time and you say who you are and you say why they should care. The actual value of our video. There's kind of 2 broad components of that. There is the writing and then there is the branding, the end screen sales pitch. The way we want to end our videos, we do not want to give the audience any language that says our video is over. We just want to point them to the next video that they should watch.
Of course, V for value is probably the hardest part of this entire framework. So Ali gets a lot into how to write good scripts through writing bad first drafts and then editing to perfection, creating high quality voiceovers and B-roll, how to cut back on repetition and repeating yourself, adding visual and verbal flair and Easter eggs to the background, having a consistent brand, style, and vibe that audience comes to expect, and that also sets you apart from everybody else on the YouTubes. Next, time carving and the artery method. This is the lesson in which Ali proves that he is a doctor and knows what arteries are. Additionally, we learned about the usefulness of batching.
It is actually a lot easier to just film 3 or 4 videos in one sitting rather than write, film, edit, write, film, edit, write, film, edit, write, film, edit.
And then treat that content kind of like a heart, pushing content ideas out to all of the various appendages of your content creation body.
Instead of thinking of how do I chop my video up into 10 different platforms, we're thinking, how do I take an idea and how do I morph it into different bits that are native to each different platform.
Next, outsourcing and building your team. In this lesson, you learn to find the friction points and the bottlenecks in your process, which usually for most of us is editing early on, which takes an insane amount of time, and how to gradually move that to new areas that you want to prioritize that will actually have higher impact on your life. Additionally, he walks us through the process of coaching and hiring a new editor.
You want to spend 2 hours training your editor so that they are better for every single edit they do from now on. Again, I wish someone had shown me this early on, because initially I tried outsourcing to Upwork and the end result wasn't very good, but I didn't personally take the time to train the editor in my own style and what I wanted.
In general, Ollie talks a little bit about how to manage ridiculously effective teams, which is a topic that someone has made a video about, I'm sure. By now. Next, creator productivity, in which Ollie shares more systems to kind of force yourself into a productive workflow, help you create scripts, that kind of thing.
Work expands to fill the time that we allocate to it. I've definitely found this since quitting my job as a doctor as well. Like, our output has not increased since I quit my job as a doctor. In my final 2 months of working as a doctor full-time, we were still putting out 3 videos a week. We're still putting out 2 or 3 videos a week. In fact, our output has reduced. It's just about getting over that fear, that sort of perfectionism disease, that, oh, my video has to be good, otherwise it's not worth publishing.
As well as also how to trick yourself into being more productive by hijacking your brain. Finally, strategy, partners, and products, in which Ollie talks about the points at which you should actually start to monetize.
The way that I approached it, which is how I would approach it moving forward, is that I only want to turn on monetization when it is an interesting amount of money that I'll be making. There is no point in me turning on monetization for me if I'm going to be making $10 a month.
He does things like share his average CPM, as well as how it compares to folks, say, in the finance niche.
Tech is a reasonably profitable niche. The truly profitable niches are when you talk about money or when you talk about business. My RPM is about $2. Noah Kagan's is $25. I need 10 times the amount of views that Noah Kagan has to make the same amount of money on AdSense, purely because he has chosen to target the business building, finance type niche.
So ultimately, why did I end up buying the course? The number one reason I purchased the course is to be able to accelerate my learning curve. For me to put together my own YouTube curriculum, wade through a bunch of poorly paced videos with 1 to 3 minutes of filler at the beginning of every video, only to figure out that that video is not answering the question that I had in the first place. Basically a nightmare of time and energy down the drain. Instead, I bought this course so I could learn it in a structured way, and I could learn it from somebody who had a proven record. Additionally, I'd get to learn in tandem with a set of peers who are starting at the same spot as me, and with other people who are a few steps ahead. Finally, I got direct access to Ollie, since I spent $5,000 on the executive edition, which was absolutely worth it for me for the one-on-one time and attention, and I even got a bunch of shoutouts in the course and mention of a possible future collaboration.
Mark is generating a lot of goodwill with me, and so if Mark comes up to me and says, hey Ollie, do you want to do a collab? Hell yes, I want to do a collab.
Which I'm totally going to hold him to once I publish 25, 50 videos. And in summary, probably the number one thing that I got from the course, consistency is a prerequisite to quality.
Create useful videos, publish once or twice a week, and do this for 2 years. This is the formula to get to 100,000 subscribers.
It's just iteration, pumping that content out, and being consistent. If you're ready to go, want to join the course, there's a link in the description below. And if you want to learn more about online courses in general, how to evaluate them, how to make them part of your kind of regular annual spending, you can watch this video that I've made on that topic. Thanks for watching, and good luck on your YouTube journey.